This field looks really familiar.
Yeah, I think they're coming back for me, Mike.
Even my Google Maps says I've been here before. This is almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, this is the place.
Jeremy, this is where I found you.
This is where they did it to me.
This is where I found you after that time you got abducted by aliens.
I miss them.
You never even really told me what happened. You never actually went into detail.
Every time I try to think about it, I forget.
Are you in pain? What's your problem?
My butt is throbbing.
Oh, your hands are just outstretched towards the skies. Jeremy, you have to stop looking at the sun.
It's where I get my power.
Your power. Oh my god.
It's
my
coming.
god. Oh my god.
I feel it.
It's a ship.
The throbbing's getting quicker.
Jeremy, you're actually doing it. Wait, is this you? Are you doing this?
I hope so.
Oh my god, it's huge.
Thank you.
What? Oh, Jeremy, I feel the energy beam. We're being taken into this. Jeremy, hold me.
It's
hold me,
happening.
Jeremy. Ooh, I like all the neon.
It's so clean.
It's got all the boopy sounds, like all the boopy Star Trek sounds. That's cool. There's no aliens here, though.
Mike, there's a guy over there in the corner.
Nope. Hello.
Welcome. Welcome, gentlemen.
Oh.
You look familiar.
Are you an
Think I
alien?
know you. Well, maybe, but I could be a hybrid.
It's an awful lot of corduroy.
This guy's a Hyundai.
Yeah. Yes. You do look familiar. I think we've seen you before, but welcome back. I think this is gonna be fun this time.
Jeremy, is this the guy that did the things to you?
Is hybrid another term for bisexual?
Your butt looks familiar.
Oh no! I don't like where this is going.
Closer. Come closer.
Oh, I hardly recognized you, Les.
Oh,
Hey, how are you?
What's up, Mike? This
How
guy
are
was
you?
abducted when I was abducted.
Oh, okay. Wait, have you just been here the whole time, just fucking with people?
Yeah, I have.
Mike, I think they did something to him.
Well, I mean, they loaded him up with corduroy.
Yes.
It's weird that they didn't give him shoes. Wait, should we take our shoes off? Is this like a no shoes zone?
Please. Yes, please.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Your shoes smell like funk.
Well, yeah, they're sandals. I don't wash them. Are you supposed to wash your sandals?
Only in space.
Only in space.
I smelled funk.
Well, we have a podcast to steal, so I guess what about UFOs sounds good.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I mean, he's been here for quite some time. I bet he's got plenty of insider knowledge.
Yeah. Ooh, our strange skies, UFOs throughout history. It's just on the monitor here. It popped up when I said steal the podcast. The aliens are just giving it. Wait, are we ever gonna meet these aliens? Are they invisible?
Sometimes.
Are we
Sometimes we are. Yes.
Are we the aliens?
We can walk through walls, and we can see what you're doing.
All right, I gotta take a shit. Well, I'll take a shit. Let's do this
I'm
thing.
gonna try and run through the wall.
That didn't work.
No. I gotta do it for you. Run.
Run, Jeremy.
Mike, this guy's lost his mind.
Well, give it a shot, Jeremy. Run through the wall.
Okay. Yeah, that was good that time. Okay.
Yeah, you hit the wall harder that time.
I don't feel so good.
Two best buddies are talking about whatever they want. They're looking for a show to steal and treasure to haunt. Michael and Jeremy, steal your podcast. Michael and Jeremy, steal your podcast. They like to get crazy, talk a lot of trash. Michael and Jeremy, steal your podcast.
Welcome to Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Mike.
How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy.
Oh, I'm also good.
You know
Thank
what-
you for asking.
You know what I saw in the skies?
What did you see?
Aliens.
Jeremy, they're all around us. And, we're here to talk about them again today. But the difference is, Jeremy, we have an expert.
Ooh.
An expert of UFOlogy.
Oh, I thought he was a member of ICE.
ISIS?
Oh, not that kind of alien.
Welcome to the show, Les.
Hey, thank you so much. How are you?
Yes, happy to have you on. So, as we're here stealing the skies, our strange skies, UFOs throughout history, what sorts of UFO things do you know about? What secrets can you unfold?
Oh, well, I can tell you a lot. Basically, I've been doing this for about 3 years, since June of 2021 is when I saw my first craft and actually recorded it. Now, my gig is that I teach people how you can actually record them with old cell phones, and I even do. Have you ever heard of CE5?
Why not new cell phones? You feel like, as you know, the iPhone
Yes.
16
Well,
has
no, you
better
can-
UFO detection technology.
Well, actually, no. The thing is with that is if you got a new cell phone like like a Samsung S22 up, that's good. They record great at night with color. They've got the color, night vision. But these older cell phones that we have, basically the good thing about them is you can just leave them outside and record the skies. And what I do with that is I have this really expensive mount that you can put outside. It's basically just a door hinge, and it's got Velcro on it.
And a BlackBerry.
Yes, and I don't think about a BlackBerry, but if you got an old Android phone or even an iPhone, I've got an iPhone 5 that I've used that has. Now, if you're a techie, if 1920, 1080p, something like that is fine, as long as you can. That size is great. An old Samsung S7 works great too. I've caught some of my MUFON unknowns with that. I've got a Motorola that I used to catch my very first MUFON unknown. I've actually got 3. Yep, and I've got these door hinges, and I've got Velcro on them, and I've got Velcro on all my phones. I basically collect these, and what you do is you just set them outside, turn it on, and let it run for about 45 minutes, and you run it into your computer with you can use a USB cord or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to use free software whenever I can. I use a program called SM Player, and I love SM Player. It's great because you can go in and you can do frame by frame, and you can skim through all that stuff. And
You must be a hit at garage sales. You got the old
yes,
phones.
yes.
I got
Now,
aliens to
yeah,
catch.
I've got a box of probably be about 10 of them, and I've got all different kinds. And so I've got a power strip outside, so I just set this on the fence, let it run. But at night, I use my S22, and I've got a few different apps I use on there. I've got one called Sky Map, which I highly recommend. I've got one called Stellarium, which is another good one that will identify with your, and identify your stars. And then I also use Flight Radar 24.
So you're comparing what you're seeing in these phones, so that way you're making sure you're not seeing Orion's belt or
Right, exactly.
Venus in
Yes, correct.
retrograde.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And so I just use those. And once again, if the app is free or inexpensive, I highly recommend that, because that's kind of how I started. I really started doing this when COVID hit and we were kind of on lockdown. Then we moved to Georgia and went to a haunted house. Actually, I'm also a paranormal investigator.
Haunted with aliens.
Yes,
Ghost
and
aliens.
Alien
I did
ghosts.
do a show the other day where they kind of go together. But I've got a REM pod and K2 meter and all of that, and so I dig this. People kind of freak out, but I prayed about seeing things that people don't normally see, because I was seeing orbs and everything on the phones
Female
that I was
orgasms.
using. But yes.
I caught it on my Nokia phone.
Yeah, right. So I set up my camera, and I was in Arkansas and set it up and was recording this guy. and recorded in the sun. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that C-130 was flying over from Little Rock Air Force Base, and I caught a craft on there, and I was able to kind of, fast forward through it. And once you start looking at the videos, now I'm not going to sit through hours and hours of videos, so I kind of skim through them. But the other good thing about SM Player is you can zoom in on the craft and you can zoom in on whatever. And I actually called the Little Rock Air Force Base and I said, hey, I've got some crafts that are following your planes. And I also notified MUFON, and MUFON said, yeah, that's an unknown.
What is
I let them
MUFON?
know. I'm sorry?
What is MUFON?
MUFON is a mutual UFO network, and they're the ones that the government goes to whenever they have questions about the crafts and the entities and all of that, too.
Oh, so like Tom DeLonge, is he part of MUFON?
I'm sorry?
Tom DeLonge, is he part of MUFON?
The name sounds familiar.
He's a very famous UFOologist and nothing else.
Hey, Mom,
Yeah,
there's
and
something
there's-
in the back room.
And another thing, too, is I started seeing so many that they labeled me as a serial submitter because I started getting
Well,
quite
you're just so good. You're just so goddamn good
Yes.
at it. Like,
Yes. And so I've got 3 MUFON unknowns, and I've even reached out to some people that have told me that I was kind of blacklisted, and they don't see why, and so they've kind of given me a hassle. So we're kind of going over that without giving out any names. So I wanted to find out what they were looking for. So I decided to become a field investigator with MUFON.
oh,
Yeah,
he's got an
for the
ID,
state-
Jeremy. He's showing it to the
Yes.
camera. It is his
Yes, with
face,
this-
and it says MUFON on it.
All I do is
Yes,
win, no matter what.
Nice.
Yes. And so I became a certified field investigator for the state of Georgia. And just because they had treated me the way they did, I didn't stay with them very long. And also with ADHD, I'm a little ADHD. I
Well, it
decided
helps you
not
for
to
catching
continue
aliens.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
So-
I'm ADHD.
But I've got a really nice manual from them and everything, and so I know exactly what they look for, and they're all pretty hardcore. So, So with that, then I kind of knew what I was looking for. I come down to Georgia, and I was staying with my mom and dad, and put up one of my cameras, and sure enough, I caught another one. That was my second MUFON unknown, and then I got another one on the I-5 that I was telling you about. I caught a craft on there as well. And then because I was submitting so many, one thing I noticed is that whenever a field investigator gets a case to go after, they have 20 days to do it. So if I was submitting 10 cases, I can understand how that would look kind of strange. So I kind of agree with that part there. But yeah, I started recording many to the point of now I can actually request them or summon them, and they come. And I've got videos on my YouTube channel. I'll put
I'm
out
sorry.
my.
I'm sorry. Summon them.
You got like a chant
Yeah.
or something?
No, basically it's very simple. It's sort of like CE5, if you've ever heard of Stephen Greer, that kind of thing. I don't go with all the music and the meditation and all that. I
Wait,
just walk out there and I just say,
CE5.
hey, can you fly by? And
These are psychic beings,
basically
Jeremy.
Isn't CE5
Yes,
that
they
movie
are.
with that little robot that goes through the city?
That's Johnny Five.
Oh, Johnny 5.
A great movie.
Was he an
Johnny
alien?
Five, yes, Johnny Five. But yes, they basically they communicate via telepathy, and a lot of people do it. And so what I do, and on my YouTube channel, I've got a YouTube channel called Objects and Orbs, so go check it out. There's one called Requests and Dedications, and that's basically an unedited video, and I can ask them, say, hey, can you fly by? Literally within a minute, you can see one coming across, and then you just keep seeing them. And I'll say, hey, can you turn around? They'll turn around, or can you dive, or can you come closer, and can you turn?
Mike, this sounds pretty
every
similar.
night.
We talked to a what would you call it, Mike? He was a psychic theologian. He could see spirits, and he walked with Satan and Jesus and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Remember that
Yeah,
guy?
I do.
It sounds oddly familiar to how he would be able to summon spirits.
Well,
he from the is that
but-
it sounds connected to me.
Potentially, but I think this is more of you have these very intelligent beings. They're flying around. They say, I want to fuck with this guy. He's like
He's opening the doorway. I'm gonna walk through.
I
it.
can hear him. I can hear him pretty loud and clear. Let's go fuck with this guy. And then they they fly around.
Yeah, and that's the way it is also with the spirits too, because if you treat them with respect, then they will also treat you back with respect and give you the type of evidence that you want. And I see that quite a bit even on paranormal shows too. And have you ever heard of a guy by the name of Chris Bledsoe?
It sounds familiar.
Is he Drew Bledsoe's brother?
Okay.
He's quarterback for the Patriots.
I don't know, but he's probably one of the main guys that people know that also do it the same way I do, just go out and call them, and he summons them as well. And it feels very angelic when they fly over. I get a lot of people down here in the South to say, oh, that those are demons and they're this and they're that. And I say, no, that's not correct. But yeah, if you were to actually see the type of evidence that I get, you'd be like, okay, yeah, they've got some kind of connection to you. And then also my wife too. She can walk outside and see them, and a lot of times she'll call me. She'll say, "Hey, hon, come outside and look." And sure enough, there'll be something. And so I catch maybe 1 or 2 a week, and it's very.
I wish you meant you actually caught them. That would be amazing.
They're in like a trap in his garage.
Yeah, I wish you actually did physically catch them.
And I know people who have been abducted, and they say you really don't want to be abducted, but I think that I would still want to be, and I at least want to, we'll just say, try it. But I've got a good friend of mine in Canada who's been abducted like 7 times, and
has he?
At first he had a hard,
Has he though?
They keep catching and releasing him like New York crime laws.
What's so special about your friend?
Well, okay, here's the thing. I don't know if you've ever heard about this. Rh negative blood.
I'm sorry.
Like
Rh negative?
They like negative blood.
They like negative blood.
Oh.
Rh negative. So anything, even a negative, that all negative. If you look up negative blood types, a lot of that will have to do with an unknown portion of where it comes from.
Mike, I have a negative blood
and that's something
That's why you obviously got abducted 2 years ago.
And I tell people I got a lot of people that reach out to me all the time. They'll say, "Hey, this has happened to me," or whatever, and I'll say, "Well, do you have negative blood?" Yes. And then I have that kind of BS meter that goes off, and I'll say, "Okay, do you have negative blood?" Yes. Do you ever have dreams about going through tunnels, or dreams you can't explain, or something touching you in your dream that you can't understand? And then it gets kind of more beyond that. If you come back knowing anything about numerology, about multiple dimensions, quantum mechanics, quantum physics,
displacement,
and also any and any advanced type of senses like hearing or eyesight. Some people will come back with markings like a triangle. People will come back with triangle markings. Some people will come back even with implants, and I've got ways of even to tell if somebody's been implanted or not.
Well, their boobs are huge.
Yeah,
flawless abs.
Yeah.
Look at those calves.
And the thing. Oh, and also any type of genealogy lineage too. And so people will say they're related to whatever and this and that, but mostly Rh negative blood. Almost all the people that I ever talk to have negative blood, and
Okay.
I don't. I've got positive.
Let's go back to your friend. What's up with your friend? Apart from his blood, why do they keep going? Why is he making himself so available for? I would be in a Faraday cage.
Stop sleeping outside.
You're right.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be abducted, but now even his wife is being abducted. He has work. He does actually have non-disclosure agreements with the Canadian military, and he's no longer in the military, but he has non-disclosure agreements. Sometimes with those, they last your entire life, and some of them even have bullets with your name on them too. So. But I think it's because Rh negative blood, or there's something about him. Now, one thing that they are also looking for is they're looking for hybridization. They're looking for mixing people, mixing them with us. And I even tell people this. I'll say that, have you ever seen anybody who even looks like they've got the big eyes? They look alien, as opposed to yes. Or even
that chick
round heads that
from
look
that
like
show, the chess show, and then she was in that burger movie.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name?
Yeah, and I don't know, but look at some of the pop stars. Some of them even have these big eyes like this. Now, if you
Zoe
see somebody that
Deschanel.
looks really cut
There you go.
cut square like this, like even myself, I'm cut kind of square as opposed to having a rounded head. There's a lot of reptilians here, especially a lot of military. You'll see a lot of military that look like their head is flat at the top, sides are flat, and
Dolph
kind
Lundgren.
of like, yes, yeah.
So-
Start looking. The more you look, the more you're gonna say, yeah, you kind of look a little alien to me. I can see people like, dang,
So,
yeah,
so if reptilians are
Yeah.
living normal human lives and they're going around, car crashes account for many deaths every year. You're telling me that there hasn't been one car crash where a reptilian's been kind of,
No, it's because they cause all the car crashes.
oh, is that what it is?
possibly. And I don't know how much you know about Antarctica, about them being down there, and there's
You mean the
secret
ice
bases
wall?
down there.
No, I think
Just kidding. I'm not a flat earther.
I did read something about there was that guy, that pilot for the Navy or something. He flew into the Hollow Earth, or he saw some stuff over there in Antarctica.
Yes.
What was his
Yes,
name?
that's
Robert-
correct.
Robert
And that was
something?
Admiral Byrd, I think.
Robert Bird.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about
I
that.
think so.
Admiral Byrd, yes, he flew down, and it was a hollow Earth, and it was all weirded out down there. But yeah, that totally makes sense. And then also how I were talking about, we were in COVID and we were kind of on lockdown and we were gorging on all these different shows. Once you start putting the puzzle pieces together and you start finding the documents, then it all comes together.
Do you believe in the Hollow
So-
Earth?
I thought you were going to say
Yes.
Holocaust.
Do you believe in the Holocaust? Let's start with the first one and then we'll go to the second one.
Yeah. Hollow Earth and Holocaust, yes. But there's a lot of evidence. Even the Nazis had bases down there too.
Hitler loved aliens. He was about it.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff down there, and it continues to go. I mean, it continues to go on. I can even talk about special bases. I can tell you about bases right now that people can't go to. One is Dugway.
How
Have you
convenient.
ever heard of Dugway?
No,
Dugway?
no, I've not heard it.
Dugway?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Dugway Proving Grounds Army base is in Utah, and it's supposedly known as Area 52, and it is so top secret. They are actually protected not up to space, but up to infinity.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
So you're saying like you can't fly over the base?
Look
Into
it
infinity.
up. Look it up. I can tell you guys where to find all these documents, and that's something I was going to do today, to help you find documents that are only from military.
There's the
Only
only
from military and government.
the only reason to have the space over your facility to infinity is if something could reach infinity, right?
Right.
Interesting.
Now, also, if you haven't heard of that, I don't know if you've ever heard of AUTEC, which is the Atlantic Underwater Training, something like that.
Oh hell, no.
If you look up AUTEC, that's the Navy's Area 51,
Ooh.
and they are
Under
they are
the
on
sea.
Water aliens.
Yes. And supposedly they're also protected all the way up to space too, but they do everything underwater. So it has been told that you can access Atlantis. So that I don't know. But yes, if you look up AUTEC, just look up AUTEC and you'll find it. Oh, there's something about the water, where they're at or whatever, that it's very not soundproof, but very quiet or something like that. But that's where they do all of that. And if you look up Dugway Proving Grounds, they do all kinds of chemical testing out there, and there's a lot of stuff that's been seen out there as well. So for sure, that place is also top secret. And then the Area 51 in Nevada, of course, everybody knows about that. One thing I was gonna go through is how to look up if Roswell happened, and I can do that if you'd like me to walk you through that.
If it actually,
If it happened,
if the place exists.
If it happened, yes, and it actually did happen. And here, have you ever heard of MJ12?
the majestic,
on,
the
guys.
majestic 12.
Michael Jackson.
Majestic 12.
Michael
yes,
Jackson's favorite
yes,
age.
Yes, Majestic 12. Yes. Oh, definitely. All right. So, would you like me to help you Help you find what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Let's go on this little treasure hunt.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. And you have to do this just right, okay?
Oh,
so,
yeah. Otherwise you'll die.
If you got it now, if you got Google, that's fine. But here's what I want you to do.
I got Bing. Okay. Is that okay?
Mike uses Bing. He's a Bing boy.
Well, Bing might work too. But here's how you got to search this. Magic, like majestic, MAJIC. Magic.
Got it.
Reagan. Okay, REAGAN, not MAGIC, MAJIC. Magic Reagan.
Yes, I've typed it in.
As in Ronald Reagan.
Yes, that's right. Yes. So what this does is this is going to take you to the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library.
It just takes you to meat spin. It's just a dick flying around the screen.
Yeah. So here's what you're going to do if you type in Magic Reagan, the very first thing you're going to see is it's going to say reaganlibrary.gov public PDF FEO10-01 case number 51790-517999. Okay. It's going to bring up a PDF file. And it brings up the PDF file. Then what you're going to do is this is also known as the Eisenhower report. But what you're going to do is you're going to scroll all the way down to page 18. All right. And then when you get to page 18, that's where all the magic starts to happen. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through this because since we're just doing audio, so it's all right. Page 18, and I'll read it to you. Okay. So this says at the very top, it says eyes only, top secret. Okay. And then it says Operation Majestic 12 is a top secret research and development intelligence operation responsible directly and only to the President of the United States. Operation of the project are carried out under the control of Majestic 12 Group, which was established by special classified executive order of President Truman on 24 September 1947. It goes through there. A few of the people are Secretary James Forrestal. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Okay. If not, not a big deal. All right. He had an aircraft carrier named after him, and he was kind of like one of the big wigs and all that. He jumped out of a window, supposedly, of a hotel. Well, we don't really think that he jumped. We think he was pushed. Okay. And then, as it said, the death of Secretary Forrestal on 22nd of May, 1949, created a vacancy which remained unfilled until 1st of August, 1950. To which Walter B. Smith was designated. Okay, so we're going to scroll on down to the next page. Now, this talks about, this is the last paragraph on this page. July 7th, 1947. I'll try to read this pretty quick. A secret operation was begun to assure recovery of the wreckage of this object for scientific study. During the course of this operation, aerial reconnaissance discovered that 4 small human-like beings had apparently ejected from the craft at some point before it exploded.
Ejaculated.
These had fallen to Earth about 2 miles east of the wreckage site. All 4 were dead and badly decomposed due to the action of predators and exposure to the elements during the approximately 1-week time period which had elapsed before their discovery. A special scientific team took charge of removing these bodies for study. The wreckage of the craft was also removed to several different locations. Civilian and military witnesses, you're going to love this, civilian and military witnesses in the area were debriefed, and news reporters were given the effective cover story that the object had been a misguided weather balloon. So every time we hear misguided weather balloon, that's where it comes from.
Those weather balloons are always picking up weird people out of the sky and dropping them off.
Now,
didn't we recently have a weather balloon incident and we blamed it on China?
We sure did, didn't we? Okay. Now, when you go to page 20, the middle paragraph states, since it's virtually certain that these craft do not originate in any country on Earth.
None of these pages are numbered. I don't know what page you're on.
Well, you got to scroll down. That's why you get like a PDF viewer or something like that. Okay. Now it says that Mars was and remains a possibility. Of course, we know Mars is occupied already. Although some scientists, most notably Dr. Menzel, consider it more likely that we are dealing with beings from another solar system entirely. Once again, anybody can load this as a PDF from a government agency, Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, but you have to type in Magic, MAJIC space Reagan.
It is all
and
here.
Then it keeps going down. So yes. And then we can keep going down.
Wait,
now,
real quick, Les, real quick. So these small, it says small human-like, and they did get the bodies decomposition due to predators. Wouldn't you want to find out what happened to the things that ate them? You think some weird side effects could be going on from these predators eating these little human-like bodies?
Possibly. And, you know, I bet they did. I bet they went after those animals as well.
Ooh, can I read some? I have a great voice.
Oh, Mike, you want to read some of the page? Well, let him tell you where to go to read.
Well, I'm on page 21.
Okay, yes.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Future Michael. Just want to tell you about our band of the week. It's the Waterstriders with their song, House of God. Make sure you listen to the end of the episode so you can hear their song. It's great stuff. Awesome. I love it. And we're brought to you by Dungeon Studios, makers of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons modules, as well as shows like The Game, Nerd News, and Fables from the Forgotten. Make sure you don't miss an episode upload. Go to dungeonstudios.co to pick yourself up a cheap 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons module, or links to all of their shows that you can subscribe to and listen. Great stuff. We're also brought to you by Silk City Hot Sauce. Go to silkcityhotsauce.com and use promo code STEEL at checkout for 20% off of your order, your whole entire order. That's Silk, S-I-L-K, City Hot Sauce. Yep, go there. STEEL. I'm going to start on December 6th, 1950.
That's the best part. Yes.
On the 6th of December, 1950, a second object, probably of similar origin, impacted the Earth at high speed in the El Indio Guerrera area of Texas, Mexican border, after following a long trajectory through the atmosphere. By the time a search team arrived, what remained of the object had been almost totally incinerated. Such material as could be recovered was transported to the AEC facility at Sandia, New Mexico, for study.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm gonna let you read the last paragraph here because it becomes kind of
You're gonna let me?
relevant.
On my own show?
Relevant for today.
Okay.
Yeah, relevant for today. So go ahead.
Implications for the national security are of continuing importance in that the motives and ultimate intentions of these visitors remain completely unknown. In addition, a significant upsurge in the surveillance activity of these craft beginning in May and continuing through the autumn of this year has caused considerable concern that new developments may be imminent. It is for these reasons, as well as the obvious international and technological consideration and the ultimate need to avoid a public panic at all costs, that the Majestic 12 group remains of the unanimous opinion that imposition of the strictest security precautions should continue without interruption into the new administration. At the same time...
A new administration?
Yeah. At the same time, contingency plan MJ 1949-04P78 top secret eyes only should be held in continued readiness should the need to make a public announcement present itself. See attachment G.
So what does this mean?
This is top secret. Top secret eyes only. This is a very important looking document.
Skip a page and go down to page 23, and it'll say memorandum. Go for it.
Memorandum for the Secretary of Defense. Dear Secretary Forrestal, as per our recent conversation on this matter, you are hereby authorized to proceed with all due speed and caution upon your undertaking. Hereafter, this matter shall be referred to only as Operation Majestic 12. It continues to be my feeling that any future considerations relative to the ultimate disposition of the matter should rest solely with the Office of the President following appropriate discussions with yourself, Dr. Bush, and the Director of Central Intelligence. So George Sr.
Doctor?
And who signed that?
Harry Truman.
Okay. So I would say this is probably a pretty official document. They just slid under the door a little bit, but anybody can find it if you know where to look. Okay.
Yes, it is all here. This is kind of weird and crazy. This is weird.
Yes. Oh, just wait. It gets better. It gets better. Okay. Now here's what we want to know about Majestic 12. Okay. And are they still around?
Who are they? Where are they going to tour? Are they going to have a reunion tour?
They're already here. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Here's another thing I'm going to have you look up.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take off your pants.
Sit on the stick.
I'm going to have you look up organization, org chart, security clearance. Yes. Org chart. Yeah. Okay, and it's another PDF.
So we have the organizational chart with 10 levels, and then where the United States stand, or where the president of the U.S. stands. Top secret crypto. Secret crypto.
And yes, okay, and then keep going up, but don't say the name at the top, okay? Because we know what's at the top. So you see ZD27, right? Orbit, Triad, Cosmos, Astral, Stellar, Ultra, Luna, Cosmic. Okay, let's look up just to see what Cosmic is. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back and search Cosmic security clearance, if you can, please.
Oh, I can. I physically, I have working hands. Cosmic security
clearance, yes. And tell me what that is.
I will, Les. Cosmic Top Secret CTS is the NATO equivalent of a U.S. top secret security clearance used to protect information that, if disclosed, would cause exceptionally grave damage to the alliance.
Grave damage. And who is it? Not NATO, right?
Yes.
So that means if NATO is gone, and what's that name at the top of the org chart?
Majestic.
Ooh, everything's connected, Mike.
It's all connected.
Yes.
A murder board of aliens.
The bananas.
Okay. And out of about,
Bananas, hot dogs.
we'll just say 40 clearances. Where does the president? I'm not going to say it like every president.
The president is very low on this list, surprisingly. He's he or she is at number 17.
Is this after Truman? Is it Eisenhower?
All right, so obviously there's one that's not on the list, and that is like, everybody, right?
Right. And then if you go back down, clearance. So let's start at the bottom. We have restricted, confidential, secret, top secret, and then PSI, which is special compartmented information. That means that you might know, but I'm not going to know, and we both work in the same office. Then there's unacknowledged special access programs. That means that, hey, we're not going to necessarily say what they are. Now, if you try to get a security clearance, then you're going to be signing a 136-page document. And
I don't want to look that one up, Les. Don't make me read that.
No, you're not going to look that up. But on each page, you have to put in, you have to sign each page, and you also have to provide your social security number. But what they do is they will look at your friends. They will look at your friends' friends. They will find out whatever you've done your entire life and then go from there. And then again, they will give you that kind of clearance. And so there are people that work in these different departments. Now, my dad used to fly in C-130s when he was in the Navy. Okay. So he was not a navigator or even a radio man, but if he tried to go into any of those areas of the plane, they would be looking at him like, what the hell are you doing?
What the hell are you doing? You're supposed to be flying the plane.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes probably those pilots might not have known, but there was stuff that they would do that the other people didn't understand. So those are my two favorite documents. Now, I'm not going to go over all the documents I've got, but I will tell you that there's documents on teleportation, because I had said something about that. Yes, we already have a base on Mars. We have a base on the moon. People are like, well, how do we get there? Well, teleportation, anti-gravity. Now I'm going to tell you how I found all these. So this is something you guys would like.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me get this joke in.
Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
So now I just imagine that there's a man in a plane somewhere, and he's picking up you on your Nokia.
Yeah.
Please turn around. Turn around. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Jerry. I'm going to fuck with this guy. Oh, my God,
right.
Martha, don't you see it? It's turning around.
We're spelling his name.
Oh, he knows my name, Martha.
Hey, and I do got to tell you this. When I was in Arkansas, when I first recorded my first UFO, when I went down to the base, I gave them all my information and said, here's where I live, blah, blah, blah. I saw 3 Black Hawk helicopters flying over, literally across the street over a school with their guns out. I'm like, hey, I'm right here. This isn't anything new or anything special. This is how I do it. I told him exactly how I do it, just like I'm telling y'all. But yeah, so that's happened. And we've even had Men in Black come up to our house here in Georgia.
What did they do? What did they say?
I can't remember.
Well, they didn't come to the door. They didn't come to the door, but they drove up our hill and they backed up the black SUV up to our house. And my wife's like, "Did you see that black SUV?" I'm like, "No."
They're on their way to a birthday party.
Yeah, and it was like,
I told you we were going the wrong
Yeah.
way. Turn around, Steven.
Yeah, and we were talking about hybrids too, and those Men in Black too, I think are reptilian and that too. So, but that's that's
Do you think
going on.
do they
and,
pay taxes?
No,
You don't think so?
heck no.
Why isn't this
No.
on the Why isn't this on? Like,
Everyone's always talks about tax of the rich, tax the
Yeah,
fucking reptilians.
no,
yeah.
Shoot, yeah, no. These guys have no. They're not from here. But okay, now here's
Right,
how
they're
I'm
illegal.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Someone get a
Here's
hold
what
of
I'm
Tom
gonna do.
Homan.
I'm gonna tell you guys now. If you guys have ever downloaded MP3s or waves or blah blah blah, you
Yes.
know. So here's how you search in Google. So you're gonna go up and you're gonna search index of / Then let's type in, I don't know. Let's type in teleportation. I'm gonna have you do that. Teleportation.
Don't bite your gun. Just typing it in.
Teleportation.mil. So mil is military. So teleportation.mil.pdf. And tell me what comes up if you get a chance to search that.
Yeah. Hey, are they? We're not going to get Men in Black driving up to the studio, are we?
I don't know. Maybe. If you get muted again and none of you touch the button, well,
Teleportation physics study.
Yes. Click on that.
Okay. I'm here. Eric W. Davis, Warp Drive Metrics, 4849 San Rafael Ave, Las Vegas, Nevada.
And when was it done? August of what year?
August of 2004.
Yeah. Do you think that they figured it out since?
In the last 20 years?
Yeah.
Well,
Now, arrow down, approved for public release, distribution unlimited. What's right below that?
well, the teleportation, I feel like, doesn't it just kill you and then reassembles you into a new body? And then I guess it just resets all your synapses so you still have your own, like you're a new person technically? Do you die? Does teleportation kill you?
There's 88 pages, and I'm ADHD, so I'm not gonna read it. But I'm always looking for a speed reader to say, you know what, I'd like for you to read this. But okay, where was this sent to? Someplace in California.
Let's see.
First page.
Air Force Research Laboratory, Air Force Material Command, Edwards Air Force Base, California.
Nice. I like that. Yes. So the stuff that I deal with, I don't deal with any conspiracy crap, any of that TikTok crap. I only use military and government paperwork. You can now, if you scroll back, you can also find out multi-photon entanglement and quantum teleportation. That would be the third one down. So all of these that you're looking at. So even if you scroll down, here's something blah 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 final blah 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 blah.
This is wild.
DevCom Army.
This is wild.
So Les, I need to tell you something. We always go into this with open minds. I've watched Mike's face change to where now he's obsessed with these military documents.
This is they're saying such ridiculous things.
That's what I do. Okay, now go down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Page
5,
4?
6. Go down to the sixth one.
6.
DIA, traversable wormhole. Well, I'll just say it. Traversable wormholes, stargates, and negative energy.
Stargate.
Oh my God. Stargate.
Yes.
2 photon entangled states and biphoton wave function. There's a bunch of math on here, Jammy.
Yes, and then below that is a quantum network of atoms and photons. So even this page alone, just by searching, you can deep dive into all this stuff. And you can, ditch anything that's not military, ResearchGate, and who cares.
I like how they have,
stick with R.
like you're looking at the graphs and stuff. It's like it's got a pump, and then it's got all these vectors, and then it all goes to the coincidence circuit.
Mm-hmm. So all of this stuff that you've got pretty much states that they've been doing this for quite a while. And so I don't know if you've heard people say, oh, well, there's bases on Mars, there's bases on the moon. Yes, there are. It's just the way it goes. Yeah.
How are we getting? Oh, so we're just teleporting there.
Yeah, that's one way to get there. Yeah. I mean, I've got stuff National defense. Okay, national defense.
I got stuff in Mars. I use it for storage.
Yeah. Project Bluebeam. Plasmoids. We've heard of them recently. And Project Bluebeam. And the subcommittee. Did you know that they recently come out with something saying that if they find evidence of non-human intelligence on your property, that they can seize your property?
Well, just take the guy. He's right there.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I locked him in my cupboards. Just take him and go.
We live in Florida. What if I shoot it?
So all of this information is out there, and so people.
Les, what happens if I shoot it? I live in a stand your ground state.
Well, they're going to retaliate probably and melt your brain or something.
I have very powerful rounds.
I do too. And I'm down here in Georgia, and a lot of people say, "Well, I'll just shoot it. I'll shoot that drone down." I'm like, "Yeah, well, go for it. Why don't you try that?"
I don't necessarily want to kill anything, Les, but if it's weird looking and trying to get in my house, I'm probably going to shoot it out of fear.
Yes. And with that too, hey, it's whatever you want to do.
Well, you think I can haggle with it?
If you watch a lot of these shows about people who have used gunfire and then you're trying to go up with these people, it's like,
well, do I offer it a beer? What do I do, Les?
Yeah, that might work. But all they do is got to point it, like an ET thing, point a little finger and say, "See ya," and
have
and go
mercy. I'm just a dumb human.
Hey, you look thirsty. You want some water? And they're like, "You mean poison?"
Yes.
I'm on page 26, and there's a graph here, and two of the boxes have been labeled. One's been labeled Bob, and the other one's been labeled Alice.
Bob and Alice.
Okay. Yes.
What do you know about Bob and Alice?
Yes, and I know that they've had certain entities, because we don't call them aliens. There's certain entities still
There's
there.
an alien named Bob. Bob help with it?
I think so. There was another one. I don't remember his name though. But yeah, they still work with them. And okay, now we were talking about the Eisenhower report. Do you know that Eisenhower had met with the aliens?
I did see something about that in my research. Okay. I did see Dwight D. Eisenhower apparently sat down.
Do you have a cure for polio?
Please
help.
Yes. Okay. So back in the 40s and 50s, we were still dealing with tubes. Transmitter tubes.
Technology.
Okay. Then all of a sudden we went to transistors. Then all of a sudden now we are holding computers in our hands.
Yeah, the transistor was huge.
Radio.
Right.
I learned all about that
in radio class.
And so a lot of that, but here's the catch, is that it was in a trade-off for human exploration and experimentation.
Wait, so that's we traded humans for transistors?
If you look at certain areas, even like the Four Corners area of the United States, there's a lot of people that are come up missing. Even Alaska, there's like 18,000 people that were missing. And there's even a triangle up in Alaska that people talk about, that people go missing up there quite often. Now, of course, that could be due to weather or whatever.
Do you think that Trump is deporting all of the illegals to space?
Maybe.
There's a lot of missing kids during the Biden administration. A lot of missing kids. Interesting.
There's so much stuff that people don't realize or that they know about. You can even look up.
I have something bad.
Department, and here people talk about the Department of Defense. No, they're not going to be giving up that teleportation study now, are they? I don't think so. So the thing about the Department of Defense, they've got all kinds of stuff going on, and you can even look up budgeting for the Department of Defense. Even the 2025 budget, if you type in index of DoD Defense budget.mil.pdf, that will give you what their budget is. And there's billions and billions and billions of dollars that go wherever, So yeah, with everything, and not to get political, but everything, all these little things that all this U.S. aid and blah, blah, that's minuscule. That's pennies compared to the dollars that they're spending. If it cost you a penny to start up a bunch of crap to get everybody just to get redirected, then 99 cents worth is going to go to that black budget. So there's a lot of black budget and covert operations that are going on.
And then Elon Musk is going to purge them out.
Just killing taking a chainsaw to the alien.
I don't know how much he actually has to do with it.
I do have a fun fact though with the transistors and everything. Do you know when fiber optics were invented?
Like the 70s.
1952.
Ooh.
What are they going to fucking use fiber optics for in the 50s?
Imagine what we could do with these.
Fiber optics carries 62,000 times more information than a copper wire using a series of light beams and a decoder.
Right. Okay.
Who comes up with that?
Right.
Who figures that out?
In the early 50s. They have cars made of metal.
Woman, make me a sandwich. I'm creating fiber optics.
They didn't have seatbelts.
Yeah, how would you even think about that? Okay, now have you heard of the TR-3B?
Nope.
Okay, a TR-3B is a triangle UFO. Okay, the government has reverse engineered it.
You talking about the stealth that stealth ship?
Not the stealth bomber, no.
That's what fuels all the Macy's Day Parade floats.
Yeah, let's see. Let me look up here. Oh, military. Okay, TR-3B and related. Okay, here's something I'm going to have you look up. US 101 44532. And if you need me, I can give you the number. Yeah, I'll give it to you again. 101 44532. Tell me what that is.
Craft using an inertial mass reduction device.
Yes. That is patented. Hell yeah. That is patented. Okay, that is a TR-3B.
It's a triangle.
Yes, and it is reverse engineered. Now, if you scroll down to background, it says there's 4 known fundamental forces which control matter, and therefore control energy. 4 known forces are strong nuclear forces, weak nuclear forces, electromagnetic force, and gravitational force. And then it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. The government does have crafts as well that they don't show this whenever they're talking about these UFOs or whatever Musk has. No, they don't talk about this. This right here is the actual thing. Craft using an inertial mass reduction device. And there's a U.S. patent. You can look it up. And you can actually go to the bottom and trace all the other patents that are related to it as well.
Yes, you can.
And yeah. And so with that, if you want to read all that, it tells you how to do it. But how you were talking about in 1952.
Jimmy, we can make one of these.
There is a video if you go on YouTube, and it's called the Big Bounce, and it talks about AT&T doing a
special on phone service.
Yeah, doing an international phone service to the across the Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean, and then Eisenhower comes on and talks about the industrial complex, and to keep an eye out for that. Yeah, so back then he knew, and even when they're filming this video, you can see they're all using all tube equipment and all that, blah 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 blah. Then all of a sudden lasers come out, and all of a sudden friggin' fiber optics come out and all this. And you're like, where did they get all that stuff? So, yeah, it all kind of ties together.
Jimmy, we just need a microwave. A microwave to produce the electromagnetic field generator. Mm-hmm. We just get a microwave. We have so many microwaves.
I have a microwave outside the studio.
Yeah, I have one too. We just combine them.
Do we have double?
That's 1/4 right there. Boom.
We're basically aliens.
And here's another thing that anybody can do this. If you got just 2 magnets, right? Just 2 magnets, put one and then flip it around on the other side, and then you've got where one magnet is pushing the other magnet. So it's the same thing. You get stronger magnets, you get higher fields, and then basically you just take some cool science guy who's really cool with this stuff and say, well, let's amp it up just a little bit and give it some nuclear energy and see really far where this magnet's going to go.
All right, Bill Nye, I've got 2 microwaves and 18 magnets. Let's do this.
There you go, right? Yeah, and even with just the magnets that you have are pretty strong themselves. It just depends on how you use them. But with all of this put together, this is all just the side piece, basically, before you even do the do the sightings and all of that too. And now I can go outside and I can call them and I can say, okay, is this a plane? No, because it's not on Flight Radar 24. And if it's not on there, most planes are, and people say, oh, well, maybe it's a military plane. Maybe so. But I do see military planes on there too. And then when I zoom in, that's when you start to see crazy colors like purple and pink and orange and all these different colors. I mean, if you go to my YouTube channel, Objects and Orbs, you're going to see all the different videos that I get. And now I don't even really report them. I've got friends that I show them to and all of that. And I have made a really good friend with MUFON, who is she's very receptive to the type of stuff that I've got, and she's just totally blown away.
She hot?
And so the thing with that is that you know, you just see stuff all the time. And then now I've got craft that follow me, and it's just nuts. They don't follow me like, hey, you know, right behind me, but I can look up and say, well, there's one, or I can go out of state. I've been to Utah, catch them there, catch them in Texas, catch them in Tennessee, North Carolina.
It sounds like the silver lining here is that they're teamed up with America, so we're good to go.
Yeah, well, they're everywhere. They're all around us.
They're giving us the technology.
But I don't think they're happy of what's going on, but that's a whole nother story.
What is it, the transgender thing? The aliens don't like that?
I you know, I really don't know, but I'm not gonna say. I think it has to do a little bit more above that.
It's probably all the fighting,
if you know what I mean. They're just not very happy, I don't think, with what's going on.
I don't know what you mean, Les. Tell me.
Okay, well, I don't think that they are very happy with our presidential choices that we have. Basically, we were supposedly told that something was going to come out, and then they kind of flip-flopped on that. And so, because everybody wants disclosure, well, what do you think, guys? We just read some disclosure, didn't we?
We did, and so thankful for the fact that we could do that today. We're actually out of time, unfortunately, so we got to wrap this thing up. Les, where can people find whatever it is you got going on, the orb thing? Tell us about where people can find that.
Definitely, Objects and Orbs on YouTube, and then I've got almost 900 subscribers now, which is fine. I wish I had a little bit more than that. Not a big deal. Mine are all organic, so I don't pay for any of that.
Oh yeah.
And then Facebook, I've got a group on Facebook as well, Objects and Orbs. And then if anybody has any questions for me, a lot of people will reach out to me as well. You can email me, objectsandorbs@gmail.com. And then and people friend me all the time and ask me questions, especially about have I been abducted and all that. And then I go through my BS questions and ask them. And a lot of times I can tell what's going on and kind of give them an idea. And then they'll send me pictures and all that too. So, yeah. So
you gotta filter through all that feed.
Otherwise... Yeah, and basically what I do, I'm kind of an Uber for my family. I take them to work, and then I come home and work on this myself. And I've got a lot of videos that I haven't really produced yet. And basically what I do is I just edit them from my camera and try to get the best ones instead of just showing a light in the sky or something like that. I zoom in and make sure that it can't be debunked and then just go from there. So.
Les,
that's what I do.
Is there a person, do you think, that the aliens want to be our president?
It's a very good question. I don't know.
What type of person
I don't know.
Would the aliens want?
I know that they are more attracted to feelings right now. That's one thing that they don't necessarily have. We have. As far as how people feel, as far as kindness, love, and the way people are treated, and all that. Now, I will tell people too that not all aliens are good. Not all aliens are bad. There's, different neighborhoods, of course, and the universe is vast. So there's been types of craft that I've been told, hey, don't mess with these guys, especially the blue ones. There's I've seen blue objects that go by, and I used to really like the blue ones, and they haul butt. But for what you're doing right now, here's what I want you to do. If you've got a clear sky outside, just walk out there tonight when it gets about 7 or 8, when it starts to be dusk, like more darker than light. Look up at a star. Look for, or even look at Mars. Look at Jupiter, and then look up if you see Arcturus or if you see Capella, and just say, hey, can you fly by Capella? Can you fly by Mars? And you don't have to keep looking up, but just keep that in your mind and look up and say, hey, I'd like to see your colors. And sure enough, you will see stuff fly by. And the more it happens, the more you the more your mind will change as far as being able to request them. And people say, oh, we'll summon them. And I don't really like the word summon, because I was using that. I was like, someone like, come here, get over here quick. You don't do that. You just say, hey, we'd like to be able to see you. We'd like to see you. And can you show yourselves? Thank you so much. And
don't make yourself a target, people. There's no need to talk to aliens.
Yeah, and when they do, it's a very special thing, and it does feel it will give you a good feeling, and that's really the cool thing, and
it does sound like it gives you a good feeling. Mike, you know what else gives me a good feeling?
Oh, what's that, Jeremy? Is it Silk City Hot Sauce? Where you can go to silkcityhotsauce.com, buy any number of Jeff's wonderful sauces, try out Psychic Bigfoot. It's a mango habanero, perfect balance of heat and sweet. And
I heard he was even coming out with an alien flavor soon.
Potentially, we'll get on that, Jeremy. You can use our promo code STEEL at checkout for 20% off your entire order. I highly recommend just getting as many as you can. Try out his suite of sauces. There's something for everything. Thank you so much for joining us, Les. We really appreciate you, sir.
You're very welcome, and have me back again. If you ever want to talk paranormal, we can go down that route too.
You might be our resident UFOologist.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Yeah, let me know, and I'm always available.
All right. We are Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast. You can find us anywhere, MJSYPod.com, MJSYPOD on all of the things. Follow us on Facebook and X and Instagram and TikTok and all the other things. Instagram. I think I said that already. Follow us on all the socials, and you can go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/MajizzyPod, where you can get additional content, interviews with the hosts of the shows we steal, random banter, things and stuff. I did a one-shot in D&D. That's on there. I was very drunk. Jeremy, what else?
Everyone thinks that the MJ and MajizzyPod stands for Michael and Jeremy, but it's really magic.
Magic. The Majestic 12. It's us. It's been us the whole time.
Us the whole time.
We are timeless beings from space, and
we keep flying around Les's house.
That's right. Just fucking with him.
That's right.
Anyway, Jeremy, I think that's it.
We have a phone number.
It's 903-287-0660. Leave us a text or a voicemail. We'll play it on the show. And
Les, do you have any music? Do you make any music, bud?
I don't. I sure don't. Nope.
Well, if you ever make a song, send it to us, and we'll make it our band of the week.
Absolutely.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. All right, Jeremy, I love you.
Hey, Les, who do you like better for your own reasons, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone?
For any reasons.
Any reason.
Sly.
Yeah.
Jeremy finally got us Stallone. Came in clutch for Jeremy, Les.
I like Sly.
Ask you. And I did what I had to do to win, but somebody wouldn't let us win.
That's right.
All right.
All right. Love you, Les.
Love you, Les.
All right. Talk to you later, guys.
Love you, Jeremy.
Love you, Mike.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Civilization rules, modification and disdain.
Jamie, we learned everything we needed to learn to build one of these crafts ourselves today.
I can see why they kept Les tied up this whole time.
Yeah.
He knows everything about them
Yeah.
and how to expose them.
Wait, Les, is this your ship? Did you steal this ship?
I did.
Okay, but we're allowed to go though now, right? You can just drop us back off. That's
To drop us off
Yes,
at the closest
yes.
Dave and Buster's.
yeah, that'd be great.
You need to do my work. Do my work there.
At David
And I will
Buster's.
let you go.
Okay, all right. We promise at David Buster's we will ask everyone there if they're an alien until we get kicked out.
Add some hot sauce too.
Oh, ask from SilkCityHotSauce.com.
Promo code STEAL,
Yes.
STEAL.
STEAL. At checkout, 20% off.
Well, just beam us down whenever you're ready, Les.
Whenever you're ready, Les. What a beautiful voice.
This is much more pleasant than last time.
Ooh. Jamie, you're not wearing any clothes.
I didn't bring any.
What?